Happy Saturday, August 5th. I wasn't going to do a reading today, but I felt drawn to do a reading, so let's do a reading. I'm going to start with the plant oracle, soulflower oracle. My fingers are all purple because I went blackberry picking with my son this morning. He's asleep. And instead of like watching a Netflix show, I was drawn to do a reading. Lady's Mantle. Nurturance. In your mother's arms, Lady's Mantle brings feelings of gentle reassurance and joyful contentment to your body, mind, and soul, especially during times of upheaval and change. Know that you are loved and fully supported in all ways. You have all the inner resources you need to be happy and whole. Nice. So one thing I'm feeling on this Saturday, especially after the readings of the last couple days, is like a sense of self-forgiveness and like self-realization about like how critical I've been. I think just what I expect out of myself. I don't know if some of you are feeling that way also, but something that came up in the reading yesterday was the Tower, like, and then just in the last couple of days, like a fundamental shift in values. So this Nurturance card is just like helping me, I guess, embrace that energy of just gentility. Like you can put your sword down, Scorpio. It's got that feeling about it today. This magical and dreamy plant oozes feminine nobility. Her Latin name, Alchemia, or Alchemilla, comes from the coveted pearl-like beads of morning dew or rain, which gather like jewels on her leaves, and were considered by ancient alchemists to be the purest form of water available. Alchemy is defined as the power or process that changes or transforms something in a mysterious or impressive way. Lady's Mantle shares that one of the most powerful, magical, and easily accessible tools of alchemy we all have is simply our imagination. Our imaginations have the power to change our perspectives and, ultimately, our experience of the world in an impressive way. We all can create our big, beautiful dreams through first imagining their possibility and then birthing them into our physical reality by nurturing the vessel that is carrying them. Lady's Mantle energy brings feelings of gentle reassurance, like a mother's soft voice saying, "You've got this." Through the power of your imagination, allow her love and strength to envelop you, like you are wrapping yourself in a soft, deep green velvet mantle that keeps you safe, warm, and dry. Now, in your imagination, allow yourself to be transported into those mythical, magical storybook times of old. I watched Cinderella yesterday, and I completely forgot about like most of the movie, and the fairy godmother appears to Cinderella and she's like, "Oh my god, you must be my fairy godmother," as though that's something we all just expect to have. And I was like, oh my god, did I used to believe that I just had a fairy godmother? So maybe your ancestors or your fairy godmothers are like showing up to you now in whatever way that means to you. And your inner child is sort of that healing of whatever you've been through that's made you jaded, is like awakening your imagination and your ability to believe in like a kind, gentle outcome for yourself. You're able to make choices and decisions based on a deep trust that you are guided by the wisdom of your heart and the knowledge that your every need will be anticipated and fulfilled. You know you are worthy. The magic then, the alchemy, is that you are a queen, not in an ego sense, but rather in humble acceptance that you are the divine embodied, and as such you have the power to transform self-doubt into self-approval, uncertainty into acceptance, and fear into trust. The earth shows us that we have to nurture the soil in order for it to support strong and healthy growth. In the same way, we have to nurture our bodies, minds, and emotional and spiritual well-being so that we can allow the energy of the divine to co-create our biggest dreams with us and through us. What you nurture will thrive. how can you nurture your imagination? The affirmation for this card is, I have all the time and inner resources I need to be happy and to be whole. So there's a beautiful opening for you for this Saturday. We'll do a quick 3-card pull, I think. Oh, maybe if you have a garden, spend some time gardening today. Nurture your body with some water. Some rest, take a nap or something. I'm going to use the Dreams of Gaia Oracle today, since it's all about the earth and the dragons and some archaic, like, Celtic figures, language of light. This is just a super cool deck. Okay. Destiny. Oh my gosh. Wisdom. Okay, cool. Love these cards. Destiny. Personal destiny, universal destiny, seeking answers, purpose, quest. It is card 16. That I have correct. The Tower. Here's your Tower. Scorpio, are you kidding? That's funny. I didn't realize that this was the Tower in this deck. Okay, and then I think this is the Ten of Fire. I mean, there's fire all over that card, so I haven't worked with these cards in quite a while. It's kind of funny, but this Ten of Fire card has been warped by water in the book. Self-mastery, action, doing, evolution, enlightenment, light working, light being, discipline, mastery of both craft and self. Stop making excuses, act. You can do anything you set your mind upon. Ooh, okay. So, and then this is the Hermit, wisdom. I'm going to read this Destiny card. Ooh, remember your dreams. What are your strengths and weaknesses? Discover your gifts and talents. A sense of purpose and confidence. Ancestral healing may be required. The Destiny card represents the 8th reason for being, to embrace your destiny. Your destiny is twofold. You have a universal destiny and a personal destiny. Your universal destiny is to become whole and connected, to find your center, and to overcome all that destroys your peace. Your personal destiny involves seeking and following your bliss. That's what Joseph Campbell said. I'm going to read this in the past, because this Tower is in your recent past, what's falling away. You might have no reason to feel anxious, and yet you do. So this is that gentility and nurturance coming in. Like, everything you've experienced up until now that has taught you need to wield your sword and defend yourself, like, that is passing. We had a primordial egg in our reading yesterday with the Lover's card that came out, and it's actually a symbol I wrote down for synchronicities to look out for this weekend. The golden egg, the primordial egg. Like, you might be hatching something literally out of the healing of, like, your reptilian brain. Like, you might have been in fight or flight mode for a long time, and by healing your sympathetic nervous system, you're hatching something out of your ability to just basically chill and be in the moment, follow your bliss, right? The eagle represents freedom and divine messages coming in from a powerful messenger. And then there's 2 snakes on the branches of her face here. So the snake and the eagle are pretty solid contenders in the natural world. Like, if a snake wants, or if an eagle wants to pick up a snake, the snake has the ability to, like, bite it, right? But you'd be surprised how many birds I've seen like carrying a snake away. I don't know why that's the image that comes into my mind. Snakes also represent like our thoughts getting out of control. And I think one of my favorite images is like the Naga Buddhas. Like, it's like a Buddha with a bunch of snakes behind its head. And the story is that in some traditions, the snake sheltered Buddha when he sat through the storm in meditation. So you're being called to embrace your spiritual gifts. We've got alignment of all the chakras in this card, and he's like literally on fire with spiritual energy, with the wheel in the background and then the eye on top here. This guy's like, or girl or woman, whatever, this genderless being has all the chakras lit up and is able to manifest whatever reality they're imagining. We have this eagle in this card as well, eagle and a horse, and yet another snake. So these are symbols for freedom and temptation. So you're wielding the powers basically of like passion without temptation, or you've overcome your temptations and you're able to like use the tools available to you, specifically spiritual light working tools and passion. Like, that's what this fire comes from, to act. And your actions are emanating through realms. Yesterday you had the Ace of Pentacles. We had the Ace of Pentacles come out, and it was speaking specifically towards the Queen of Pentacles, also about where you're at emotionally and spiritually is shaping your physical reality at the moment. Like, you're very much in tune with your spiritual gifts. So act consciously and act kindly towards yourself and others. There's no need to defend. The master, I want to say like the master teacher of spirituality in the West anyways, Jesus Christ, right? He spread the word of like unconditional love and non-resistance. We have Gandhi, who spread the word of non-resistance in the East, and many others. Non-resistance is a true mark of somebody who knows that they are capable of handling anything, not because of their ego, but because spirit literally has their back, and they know that, like, in all of the facets of their being. So this is you embracing that spirit is carrying you, which is why we started today's reading, I think, with Lady's Mantle, nurturance. You're embracing that sense of being held by something greater. Nice. And then we have 16, 10, and 10, partnership. And then as far as sixes go, I like to think of them as like, 5 is usually the number for change, coming in, change coming forward, and then 6 is like when you decide to take action, like you're in the baby steps of taking action. So you might be 36. That's what I see on the board, just because of the 3 10s. 26, your birthday might be the 26th, or the 10th. Finally, we have the Hermit. So the idea of acting alone in solitude, the Hermit, like, he acts alone in the physical realm, right? But he's connected with the divine, and he carries the light. Oh my gosh, speaking of light, okay. And he carries the light of the divine through winter. This card has this really cool, like, portal open in the stone. I don't know if you've ever like seen some of those like Ancient Aliens docu-series sort of things, speculations, where they talk about how ancient people used to potentially have the ability to like vibrate at a certain frequency and like open the portal to another realm in stone. But that's literally what this guy's doing right here. He's like carrying the light, holding the vibration, and like turning this portal. There's the Trinity stone down here to indicate like this is a doorway that only he has the keys to, because he's done the work, and part of the work is being on his own. There's also this bear cowl he wears, this bear hood. And the way that I understand the bear is, there's a story in Pawnee tradition where a chief's son and a poor man's son are best friends, and the poor man's son feels terrible because he doesn't have anything to give, he doesn't have any way to contribute, he sort of sucks at everything he does, and the chief's son is like awesome at everything they do, and he's always like, it'll be okay, you know. And one day the poor man's son, he just gets so depressed. They're out walking around in the woods, like going to meet an army for battle, basically, like another tribe for battle. And they're out walking around in the woods, and there's this like man-eating bear that's been following their tribe, like literally eating people on their voyage. And the poor man's son, feeling so depressed about having nothing to give, goes out into the woods looking for the bear that eats man, hoping to die, because he just feels so worthless. And so he comes across the cave where the bear resides, and inside the cave there's a mother bear and 2 cubs, and she says, "What are you doing here? My husband the man-eater will be back soon, you need to leave." And he says, "I came to die." So this is like a card of ego death. As the story continues, the man-eating bear comes back. The female bear has told the poor man's son, grab that cub, that's his favorite, and when the man-eating bear comes back, don't let go, no matter what you do. So the poor man's son grabs the bear, doesn't let go no matter what, and the man-eating bear says, "You've proven that you're brother by holding on to this bear. I'll teach you the ways of bear medicine." And the poor man's son learns to be torn apart and put back together over and over and over again, signifying multiple ego deaths over and over and over again. And when he is taught all the medicine the bear offers, the bear destroys his own son in sacrifice to give him the medicine, basically, and he becomes like part of this bear like medicine through that sacrifice. So he returns to his tribe with all of these, like with the power basically to be undone over and over and over again, which is this like idea of non-resistance, right? We know we can bring ourselves back, so we don't have to be afraid of being undone. We know we can come back from that over and over and over again. And in his non-resistance, his like ability to put himself back together with like plant medicines and insights for his tribe, this is what he brings back. And on their voyage, he's like healing people and giving them insights, and like people are like, "Oh my god, this is so amazing, like how did he get this ability?" And then when they finally get to like the verge of battle with this other tribe, the poor man's son says, "Let me go talk to them," because I'm not exactly sure why he goes to talk to them, but he fills the entire army with his words because he's able to communicate with this like power of the bear. So that's my understanding of bear knowledge. It's like just, it's like the intuitive understanding of like the seasons within us, our ability to communicate with like nature, to feel our instincts and like move with them in a way that like reflects the balance of nature, and to have our egos undone over and over and over again, and to rebuild our egos. A lot of people, I think, in the modern world identify with their egos, and the ego does anything it can to like hang on and stay whole, and the ego associates its own death with actual death. So a lot of people experiencing an ego death without a spiritual connection to something greater than themselves feel this like I guess, suicide. And I'm not saying I have all the answers to those compulsions by any means, but if you're experiencing something like an ego death and you don't have a higher power, medicine, in my experience, is something like bears hibernate in the winter and they sleep for long, long periods of time. And actually, berries are one of their favorite foods, thinking of like the blackberries I harvested today with my son. And then they come out in the spring, and it's like a symbol of that ego death, right? Also, there's like the mushrooms on this card, which talk about like rejuvenation. Mushrooms like process like decay. So if there's anything like decaying in your life, especially if it has to do with your ego identity, you have the fortitude and the insight. He has this antler on his staff here, and the insight and the light within you to like create a portal into a new ego identity, a new realm of existence. Go outside and enjoy being outside if you can. That was like not a message I was expecting to come through. Okay, let's, ooh. Also, I mean, if you're really struggling with anything psychological, like, I mean, tarot is a good guide, but please, like, do seek professional help. Someone in your community, if you can't afford professional help, like, find a community group. Another thing I just feel compelled to share here is that mother bears will often keep their cubs away from male bears, because even the male bear that like was the like sperm contributor, because male bears are so aggressive. Here we go. Oh my gosh, King of Cups. I guess I didn't shuffle very well from yesterday. These are the energies that came out while I was talking about that, and they were in our reading yesterday. Because male bears are so aggressive that they'll sometimes just like kill even their own cubs. So if you're like a mother who has children and you're in a separation or something like that, or you've, heaven forbid, been in like an abusive relationship, this is confirmation that leaving, or if that's something you have done for your children's sake, if you have had the strength to do that, or you've been put in a position where you've had to do that, God bless you. This is confirmation that you have the strength and the wisdom to care for your kids. It was the right thing to do. That is this King of Cups reversed and this Five of Wands reversed. You don't have to fight anymore, although in the past you may have. This King of Cups reversed, somebody was not empathetic to your situation. They do not have empathy. And that's why you were put in this position. There might be some of, anyway, let's move on. That was Nine of Wands. Yeah, okay. No wonder I felt drawn to do this for somebody today, this reading. This is like somebody needing to hear some just confirmation. On his staff and has an expectant look, as if awaiting an enemy. Yeah, this is the energy that we've been looking at, and this is from the past, like what you've been through, having to get to this point of multiple ego deaths, to the point where you can rebuild your ego from anything. Behind him are 8 other staves, erect in orderly disposition like a palisade. The card signifies strength in opposition. If attacked, he will meet the onslaught boldly. With his main significance, there are all its possible adjuncts, including delay, suspension, and adjournment. So if you've been in, with the word adjournment, I'm hearing like legal situations. This is going to maybe it's been delayed, it's going to resolve. Anything coming at you in that regard, you're prepared for, you're prepared to handle, and you're going to handle it without as much difficulty as you expected. You're over prepared. What I like about the Nine of Wands is the expectation of the Ten of Wands. Well, in the Ten of Wands, there's a man carrying all 10 wands, and he's burdened. That card usually represents like burden. The burden is like carrying away his walls, putting down his walls, like moving his fence somewhere else, because the battle is won or over. So the battle's won. The star on the bottom of the card, or the bottom of the deck, sorry. Not what I was expecting today. Let's get a positive ending here. I'm getting like this really low vibrational, like sunken feeling, and I want to get like a positive ending that came out. Oh my gosh, there's a 10 of Wands. Okay. That's the end of this battle. That's over and done with. And while you may feel burdened, it's because the battle's over and you're healing. That's what's coming through for me. Two of Wands in reverse. Like this card, and this card were in the reading yesterday. And they all came out reversed like that. I've shuffled since then. You're gonna get a message with the Three of Pentacles from an official person, or there are conversations being had that you are not aware of that are going to bring, basically about you like having the world in your hands and having like realized that's not what was going on. You at one point thought you had the world in your hands. You realized you didn't, or while it looked like good on paper, what was actually going on was not that. And there's conversations being had about this that you are not a part of necessarily, that are going to equal a good outcome for you. Good outcome for Scorpio. Justice reversed. Messenger. Four of Wands sideways. Anxieties, the Devil. Cards that I wasn't expecting to read. Okay. So whatever was preventing you from feeling ease with yourself may have been this like Devil energy, a Capricorn. Your finances feeling out of balance. They're going to be coming into balance, and it's going to be because of this message that has to do with the injustice that was served to you. That's this conversation that's being had. First. And this card indicates to me, there was a story yesterday that was told about Isis and Horus having to leave everything behind, being cast out from their society. If you were in a position where you had to leave everything behind, you were cast out, this instead is happening to whatever created that situation, and they're having immense anxiety about it. And that's the conversation, that's why the conversation is being had. Like, the conversation that's being had is giving this person immense anxiety, because it's and not the other way around. I don't know why I'm getting that. Clarify the Six of Swords here. Okay, the Tower came out, Scorpio. So this is your card. This is your destiny. The Tower twice here. So through divine intervention, maybe this person or entity or like maybe the situation you left, like you felt like it wasn't fully left behind, but it is over. And this person has a lot of anxiety about it. And the Knight of Cups, wishy-washy. They're gonna try and be like emotional with you or like loving. And this Devil energy, why is the Devil here? The Hermit reverse, yeah, they're gonna come in and try and like give you some emotional offer, but there was a card here that showed they don't have empathy. The emotional offer is going to be to like bring you out of this Hermit energy where you're able to like into a space of ego, and you're being called to, what is Scorpio being called to do, Spirit, with this Hermit reverse energy after getting a message from this person. Oh my gosh, flew out. Okay, it's the Five of Swords. I can't get it off of the floor. Okay, you're being called to leave this person in the cold. I want to get a clearer understanding of this card to make sure that there's not like a kinder reading for it. He's disdainful. Oh my gosh. Looks after two retreating. So there could have been two people who caused this situation for you. Their swords are left on the ground and he's got three. He's a master in possession of the field. Degradation, destruction, reversal, infamy, dishonor, lost. Or these people, these two people that caused you to be cast out, or two entities, I don't know. It's their loss. And this Devil energy is part of that. Maybe somebody was like acting greedy. If there were two of them and one of you, they could accomplish something. Let's get one more. And then the Lovers reversed. Okay, I'm gonna turn that over. So we have the Lovers reversed on top of the Devil. With these readings the last couple days, you might have, this is a relationship, or it might be a relationship, a romantic relationship that was, so in the Devil card, he's holding Adam and Eve on either side by chains. And in the Lovers card, Adam and Eve are on either side of like the Temperance angel, basically. So this could have literally been like, I don't know if you believe in it, but spiritual warfare. Fiction came between a love relationship, a romantic relationship. You defended yourself. You're defending yourself even though you might want a love relationship with this person because you know it's not gonna be good for you, or potentially for both of you. Okay, we're gonna move out of that energy because I feel like this is more of the same stuff coming up from yesterday, and whatever, just keep in mind whatever's been putting you in unease is resolving, and that was part of that like Ten of Swords ruin like reading yesterday also. Like you don't even really have to do anything besides focus on you. You're gonna be okay. And all of this crazy chaos, I guess, is happening in the background of your situation that you're like not even aware of, which is good. The birds reversed. Are you kidding me? So yesterday we had the birds. Also, the last time I used the Lenormand deck. It's weird how tarot energies do that. now, Scorpio. There may be gossip about you going on, and you're not even paying it any mind. The birds is card 12. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6 in these cards. This bird holds like I think an olive branch, like so, like the messenger of peace, and your peace right now is in your quietude. So this card reads: pain, suffering, burden, grief, guilt, and misfortune, which is literally being undone in this spiritual energy. Like, you've built this spiritual, like, internal fire and alignment from transmutation of this guilt, pain, shame, whatever, and all that stuff that's going on behind you. And this sneaky fox energy is like, anything that was coming towards you is being reflected back, transmuted and reflected out. So like, this says steps taken in business ventures. So you might, so you might have like, it might have had something to do with a business, like those 2 figures on the 5 of Swords card, like might have been something to do with business or a place you worked for, like something unjust occurring there. You've transmuted all of that energy, and you're creating a new ego identity. And this sneaky fox trying to come in here, he's sneaking in front of the cave, and the cave is where the bear lives, right? So this fox is like trying not to get caught by the bear, which is you in this card. Whoever betrayed you is really bad anxiety about it. Whatever crossed you, like, they're regretting having done that. They're not, they were not expecting, I think, for you to awaken in the way that you have. All right, final messages for Scorpio. I think instead of Lenormand, we'll pull from the Shaman Oracle. Finally feeling good about this one. The Lion's Gate is coming up, 8/8, and that is a good time to think about, like, when you're in this spiritual alignment, right? Like this ego growth that comes afterwards. Like, what are you letting go of with your tower? What do you want to manifest? What spiritual gifts are you, like, bringing into your life? What kind of, like, physical realm do you want to create around you with this, like, incredible power to, like, transmute and shape your reality? All this weird stuff in the background, like, just forget about it. It's not even a thing. Like, you're I don't know, like, you're just, I don't want to say above that because that sounds like cocky, and you want to avoid ego. The corn, yeah. Nurturing, okay. Another 10, 10, 10, 10, 16 on the board. You might be 30. You might be 46. You might be 40. I'm getting 36. That's so strange. 36 and 36. We're going to read the corn. Think about, for this Lion's Gate, where can you put your strengths? What are your strengths? Where can you put them to create nurturance? And then the corn is like sustenance. You, Scorpio. Towers and endings, and new beginnings. Corn represents the mother of sustenance and tangible abundance. Yes, Scorpio. This symbol represents material prosperity in the world of form that provides stability and sustenance to many. There is more than enough. We got this in our reading yesterday. You planted a beautiful field of dreams and worked hard. Even in moments when you were losing faith, you continued. Now the spirit of The corn comes to honor this and show you a bountiful harvest. This is the time to reap the rewards of hard work and trust, whether those rewards are financial or the kind of prosperity measured in quality rather than quantity. You are so blessed when this symbol appears. Don't forget to share your good fortune. Sharing also came out in the reading yesterday. Just more reassurance, Scorpio. You're sticking to the path and you're way more powerful than you thought. You're way better off than you thought. You're coming out of this like with all the keys to your future and to helping other people into theirs, it looks like also. So congratulations. I hope that this was encouraging and reassuring, and it leaves you with a lovely rest of your Saturday. Thanks for being here. Love y'all. Bye.